Friends, how are you doing? How's everybody? Let's breathe, drink your coffee, breathe. We're gonna get through this, okay? I feel good about this, okay? I feel good. All right, so obviously we're gonna talk about Big Bear, but today in the market today was, back and forth. We're going through some things here in the world, but we're focusing on the market. We're not talking about politics, but obviously the last good news we had with the market, job reports came out good, all that kind of stuff. We're in this, in obviously too, yesterday, tariff talks with China were actually positive, so the market bounced a little bit off of that. Today the market was a little bit back and forth, wasn't bad, wasn't great, it was just a little bit of But obviously the S&P 500 is it's back in this 6,000 point range, and it's slowly climbing back up here to essentially back into this lost area. And honestly, I mean, we're not far away from making all new highs in the stock market, so that's probably going to happen here sooner than later. What I'm looking at right now, obviously too, there's other stocks that are doing really well. You got D-Wave here, that's almost $17 at this point. Obviously there's a lot of conversation around that stock, what it's going to be. Quantum computing, people they like it, they don't like it. It's obviously I don't think we're in like this quantum computing moment in the market. Does that make sense? We've had these moments in the market here in the past 5 years. 5 years ago it was more about like EVs were really big. Now we're in this, and then now last year was really chips. We were really in the chips. This year we're still in the chip market, but it's more of software this year. I feel like AI software, and who knows, maybe next year D-Wave can really be in more of a the quantum computing stocks can be more in a feeding frenzy by next year. And then Tesla's moving right back up here. How I feel about Tesla. Tesla's going to rule the world here. Nvidia doing what Nvidia does, and then you got C3 here holding this $25 position. So talking about Palantir for one little second here. I talked about Palantir a lot yesterday, so I don't want to go off on a tangent too much about it here, but now Palantir has held this 130s zone here for 48 hours. So yesterday, really good day for Palantir. Today, another great day for Palantir. So, this is just, I think this is just more the situation of what is going to occur before us. Palantir is just chipping away at the 30s now. Okay. Obviously, we'll easily probably have a sell-off day here back into high 20s. 126, 125, is that the new low? Pretty crazy to say that, but generally speaking, that could be what we're dealing with at this point. So Palantir continues to wrap up deals. Palantir continues to move into this bigger position of bringing in bigger quarterlies here this year. I think they're going to hit $4 billion revenue this year. I think they're going to hit it. So the road to 150 by the summer, and obviously I'm stretching the summer here. We're going to push summer into August, and the next quarterlies will be coming out in August here, less than 60 days at this point. Q2 for Palantir here. By October, could we be at 180? That's really pushing it, but and listen, these are small numbers compared to, like, I've seen some people say like Palantir is going to these crazy numbers, and I'm like, I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we are looking at $500 by the end of this year. It's really gonna have to get some more hype and deals around it, but anything's possible. We've learned, listen, AI stocks do what they want to do. I mean, we watched Nvidia last year completely just break all the rules and blow everyone's mind, and obviously two different companies, I know, but there is a lot of creatures of habit in the market, how things move here. So Palantir, obviously, I'm drinking the juice on it, and and the thing is too is when I talk about Palantir, I look up Palantir, I like to see what people think. I like to see what people are saying, and obviously too, having a YouTube channel, I get the brunt of a lot of people's thoughts about what they think, good and bad, and neutral. But obviously, I think more of the majority of investors, I think it's probably like a 80-20 at this point. 80% of investors really are just going along with, okay, this is just what's happening with Palantir. We're going to accept it. It's a really big growth company right now. They're still getting deals. I mean, that's the crazy part. They're still getting deals. Trump came out last week talking about Palantir, exclusively, taking control of the government essentially. And investors are super just, they're hungry for Palantir. They're scared to not buy it. I mean, it's a stock where you're scared not to buy it. But, the 20% that say, it's crazy overpriced, you're paying too much for it, it's not going to hold this ground. I get that conversation too. I get it, man. Listen, I am an investor. Whether you're betting for something or against something, call options, put options, whatever you're doing, I get it. Okay, whatever you're doing. For me, I'm not betting against Palantir at this point. I'm just not. I've learned my lesson. Listen, there was a moment in time when Palantir went to, around $30. I thought, well, this is probably good ground to stand on here for a moment. Well, Palantir just kept getting deals. Palantir just kept doing these like 30, 35, 40%, percentage on top of each quarterly, and that's where we're at right now. Are we going to get to a place where Palantir is bringing out 45, 50% on top of each quarterly growth-wise? It's possible. It's very possible, because that NATO deal that they wrapped up, a month ago, like, we haven't even seen that hit the quarterlies yet. So, and plus, like, Palantir just got another government deal. They got another deal here just a few weeks ago that it went really underneath the radar. Like, people did not catch it here. But it's almost like Nvidia at this point, where Nvidia comes out with these quarterlies and people are like, yeah, they did it. Great, good. It's almost one of those things where it's like the fighter that keeps winning. People just get tired of the winning, and they go, well, can they lose? Can they get knocked down? Can they just have a rough round? We're not seeing that right now with Palantir. And so I dare say people are just getting kind of lazy and bored with it too, where people are like, whatever, Palantir. Investors love drama. Okay, we love it. We love drama. Right now, there's not a lot of drama with Palantir. There's just, it's a healthy, beautiful situation. And yes, the grass is greener on the other side with it. So, I think Palantir is going to start chipping away at 130. I think we're watching it. I think it's happening before us. If it hits 138 here within, 3 weeks from now, I'm not shocked whatsoever. I'm really not, especially if the market continues to hold itself up here in the S&P. If the S&P within the next 30 days here finds a new high in the market, it's going to be a celebration. Stocks are going to follow suit. It's going to go crazy. So yeah, I can't bet against it right now. I just can't bet against Palantir right now. I just can't. So I'll shut up about it. That's really I'm done. I'll move on to Big Bear. Obviously, good day for Big Bear in the sense of a very weird day with Big Bear. Obviously, today was the day with the lawsuit situation. We'll see how the next phase of this unfolds. I dare say wrap up, but unfolds here. Today was the last day for people to make a report and make an action. But on the flip side of things too, Big Bear had this announcement, and it's a good day. Big Bear joins forces, transform airport threat detection. So, partnership deal. This is good. Money's involved. We don't know what kind of money. They have not said that, obviously. And this is so essentially, it's a deal. It's a partnership. It's good. It's more money. I wish we had a number attached to it. If someone can find it, let me know. I have looked. I cannot find it. Or they just haven't released it yet. And this is the thing. I mean, some deals that companies get, you can't really find much about it. They don't put it out there. And that's the one thing I love about these government contract deals. They immediately tell you how much, how long, and it's like, okay, then you can start adding up things yourself as an investor. But okay, so they should at least hit this. These deals, it's money. Okay, so the issue today, what we saw with Big Bear, is that it was a weird day because we had this good news come out, and I somewhat wonder if this was like, and this is not the first time Big Bear's, they've been working with airlines. This isn't something new. This is they've been working with airlines, but the situation of this too is that Big Bear had the lawsuit deal situation today, and then we had this news come out, and then today too, Big Bear was struggling to keep its head above water. So obviously it was a hard day for Big Bear, but listen, I said this last week. I think if we are heading into a $5 position here with Big Bear, if this is what we're looking at, and we're still very young into the week, it's only Tuesday. We still got 3 days here left in this market, okay? And the market itself is doing good. Before I say what I'm going to say, I want to say this. Everyone has to do what they feel comfortable. Do not buy this stock just because I am talking the way I'm talking, because I am doing what I'm doing. If you have money, you decide what to do with your money, okay? I want you to know that yes, I am very bullish on Big Bear, but I'm also saying too, as of right now, there's still a little risk where we're going to be trying to get to a higher position right now, okay? There's still, situations where you can get locked in and not get your money back here for a moment, okay? And like I said too, we're going to see how this lawsuit information unfolds the rest of the week. Hopefully it's kind of dust in the wind here for a moment and get things kind of cooking up here. And two, the news with Big Bear is changing. We're seeing a lot more positive articles come out with Big Bear. I mean, it's so not that you should invest on top of that stuff because of it, but it's good. It's good that the information coming out is more positive with Big Bear. With saying all that, listen, I am in this position where I think that Big Bear is looking for this fourth staircase to be made. I think that Big Bear is looking for a position. Obviously, we've lost ground today, but I even said this yesterday where I think, our playground, our comfortable playground with Big Bear right now is around this 370s to 420s. Okay, so today was proven that that is what's going on right now. We're in, playing around these 370s, and today we dropped down to 372, and we shot back up here to pretty much 180. We'll just round it up here to close out the day. So tomorrow, it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. And two, volume has been lackluster compared to last week. Last week was a hot week for Big Bear. I mean, you want to talk about some swing trade? I mean, we were living it. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. I'm curious to see. Like I said, if you look at the staircase number 2 here, there was a lot of time in there. There was a lot of push, shove, let go, pull up in that. But with that too, there was a huge drop before staircase 3 was made, okay? But if you look at that, that's in staircase 2 here, that second build, the last drop right there presented itself before this big push in the $3. The third staircase here, the third staircase that went to this 440 zone. So if we can get this climb back up, we're still in good position. We're still in good position here at this 370 mark. And obviously, I'm talking about short-term trade here. I'm talking about what's next here with Big Bear. Can we get to this 460, 480 in the $5? I think it's very possible even at this stage still. Okay, listen, if you've been here with Big Bear for a minute, you've seen Big Bear do some amazing things here with volume, with push, with investors taking control of it. I think Big Bear at this point is just looking for an excuse to run here. And tomorrow might be that excuse with this kind of, more positive news being around it. And, obviously the deal, everything that's going on. Long term, when we talk about long term with Big Bear, because I know everyone's in here doing, like I said, whether you're betting for it, you're betting against it, whatever kind of call option, put option you have, whatever you're doing, however you're betting, however you're making your money off Big Bear, I'm trying to address everyone here. I am at the point of where this is the wall right now with Big Bear. This is the drop. So these 370s, where we're at right now, this is obviously, if you look at the line, this is pretty much where we're going to lose everything we've built, or we're going to start chugging away here into $4 again. So I'm very curious to see what the next 3 days bring here. I'm very curious. So you, as your own individual investor, person with money, man, woman, whoever you are, you do what you want to do. I say that because, and this is why I don't talk about every stock that I invest in, because as soon as I talk about a stock, somebody goes, well, I bought that stock because you talked about it. Do your own due diligence and think about where you want to be with a lot of things. I say all this to say, I am confident that the long-term lifespan of Big Bear is going to be positive this year. I'm seeing a lot of people say too that Big Bear is going to run to $20, $30, even $15. Now, obviously, I hope that is completely true, but I think for the majority of us right now, Big Bear is in this more realistic phase right now where you're seeing a lot of organic push, where you're seeing deals be made, good news be pushed into the stock price. You're starting to see article wise, it's a lot more positive. And, we're seeing these healthier staircases be made. So we're due for a fourth staircase, a new high. I think we might get it this week. I'm in this. So, we're seeing this right now as it could go either or. But we are in a position to slingshot into $4 again. Friends, with all that said, listen, I want to wish everyone best of luck tomorrow. We're going to watch what happens here. I don't exactly know how the stock is going to move tomorrow. I really don't. It's really, if something's going to happen here, it's going to happen in the next 3 days. I mean, it is pumped and primed and ready to do something here. And I think we're going to see something sooner than not. So friends, with all that said, I want to wish you all the best of luck. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I feel good. I feel encouraged. It's a fight. It's a fight right now. It is 100% a fight out there right now with Big Bear. And with this huge drop, it more than likely could signal something better to come. So we're going to watch and see what happens here. But be cautious. If you're not in Big Bear for long term, if you're not able to, take on the emotion of what is before you, be very careful. And, because a lot of people, man, they can't take the pressure. They panic sell, they lose. And it's a bad situation. Big Bear is really going to play with people's emotions. It's going to play with people's emotions. And I know I'm going right back into it here, but if you look at the staircase number 1 here, look at the huge drop that introduced itself before staircase 2. Okay, huge drop, huge amount of time, by the way, too. So yeah, stay positive, friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.